Yeah, I just bought tap shoes on Facebook. And then Ashley messaged me. She's like, "Hi, are you looking for tap shoes?" I'm like, "Yes, but I need this size." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know if we have that size." I'm like, "It's fine.
We got 10.5 for $5.
Yeah.
I'll wait till you move here."
Are they for you, Rachel? Are you taking tap dancing?
No, they're for Julia.
I would like to see that.
Oh, yeah, I bet you would. I would like to see that, too. It won't happen. Not very agile, I feel like.
What do you mean you would like to see it? Just do it. Please.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Can you imagine?
All right.
Recording.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Oh, a bottle today.
Here's my drink. Yeah. Oh, a bottle of Keith's.
Got a bottle.
Bottle of Keith's.
I got a.
You're such a Nova Scotian.
I got an Oktoberfest here. Founders. There we go. Oktoberfest.
You know, Keith's makes a lot of craft brew type different styles of Keith's here, but I'm pretty sure Keith's is probably made in London.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it here? Oh.
Yeah, they just send it out to Halifax.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Tell everybody it's brewed here.
I didn't know that.
Anyway. Oh, by the way, this is a podcast. It is. It's Due to Underwhelming Demand with Dave, Rachel, and Forman, the podcast that's it's almost as fun as raking leaves. Not quite.
Is it?
Almost as fun as raking leaves.
Raking leaves is more fun than this, eh?
Yes, I would say. I would say.
Running through somebody else's pile and ruining it is pretty fun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's what the kids love. You know what I was thinking this year is now that we have a dog, what if there's dog poop in the leaf pile? I can't just let my kids, go in it anymore.
Well, you can let your kids go, but I wouldn't go if I was you.
No.
Only one way to find out.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let them go.
Because then the leaves cover the poop, and then you can't pick it up, and then what if it gets raked? And
Are you not going around the backyard, Rachel, and picking up after that
Oh,
dog?
no, Jeremy does that. No.
Oh,
right.
Sure.
Yeah,
and the dog
still hates him.
And the dog hates
She
him.
still hates him.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He gave her a plate of
Not only just
chicken last night, and she still hates him. A
dog-
plate of
She'd
chicken.
rather it be his hand.
Look, not only does the dog hate Jeremy, I think you do too, Rachel, for making him do that.
I don't hate him. But I do have a story about somebody who doesn't really like their wife.
Oh.
This is hysterical.
All right.
This one, speaking of men who don't love their wives.
Okay.
Not that Jeremy doesn't love me,
Okay.
but spouses
Tell
who
us
don't
more
like each
about
other,
that.
I guess. No, he's good with me, I think. He's still talking to me anyways. Unlike this guy. There's a man in Japan who did not speak to his wife for 20 years. 20 years he did not speak to his wife, but still lived with her, had children with her.
Oh.
They had a life together. He spoke to the children. She spoke to him.
Right.
He just never responded to her.
So she
Ever.
was talking to him.
Was he?
She would talk to him normally. Yeah, she would talk to him normally for 20 years. And this
He would not talk. Wait a second.
He wouldn't talk to her.
Okay.
He would talk to the kids, not to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had they had a fight?
Well, nobody really knew what was going on for 20 years. He was sulking about something. So the children, who are now kind of adults, almost 20-ish, I guess, they finally got a hold of a TV station. The son wrote to a TV station in Japan and said, "This is odd. My dad doesn't speak to my mom. My mom speaks to my dad, but my dad doesn't speak to my mom
This
for 20
would be
years."
like a letter someone would send to us on the radio show, and we'd be like, "This can't be real."
This
is
be
real.
real.
This is real.
That's right.
This is real. I'm telling you, whenever we would get those letters and somebody would say, "That's not true," it's true. And there was always somebody else who would say, "Oh, yeah, me too."
There were lots of people
Every
that did that.
single
Lots.
time.
Yes.
It would floor you. Anyway.
Yes.
Look, we can still do that. By the way, you can still send us these kind of letters, and
We
can
love
still
them.
tackle them.
We love them.
We love them. We do.
Okay.
But this
All
is like a news story. You can look this up online. So this man was just silent to his wife all these years. They raised their 3 children together. So the son finally found it extremely strange and painful, it says, and he wrote to a local TV show and asked for help. So the TV show made the couple kind of sit at a park together, and finally he spoke to her. After all of this time.
20 years.
20 years, and finally this TV show brought them together and made him speak to her. The children were there listening. The TV crew was there listening. And he said that he was just hurt that she put more effort into the children than him. So he stopped speaking to her.
Did
He said, "You were so concerned about the kids." And then he does agree. "Up until now, you've endured a lot of hardship, and I want you to know I'm grateful for everything." So he was upset and sulking for 20 years.
Okay, but
about her putting more effort, more attention onto their 3 children than him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at no point during this 20 years of abstinence did the wife say, "Is something bothering you?"
Oh, I'm sure she did. She spoke to him, I would assume. I don't know.
He must have been asked that constantly, and he just
Yeah,
never
what's your
thought
problem?
just to answer.
Well, eventually they just settle into this routine of him not talking. He said that he felt ignored when his wife dedicated all her attention to the kids, and then he stopped talking to her altogether.
You know what's
Now,
going
keep
to
in mind,
really
he
get
still
you
spoke
ignored?
to the kids.
You're really going to get ignored if you don't talk to anybody.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, him, he's not talking to her.
I'm telling you,
that would be it for me. I don't think I would have put up with that for 20 years. 20 years, they still live together and raise children together.
Well, yes.
What would make you stop talking to someone, your spouse, for 20 years?
Well, it would have to be
You could
something
stop talking to
pretty
somebody
big.
else
Have to be
because you
something
don't live with them.
Right.
But who still lives with their spouse? You're not going to talk to them. Just leave. Why are you still there?
That's some special brand of stubbornness.
It is. Yeah.
That really is.
If I was the wife and I found out after 20 years you didn't talk to me because you were sulking for that long, that's it for me.
Yeah.
No, that's too
now
pathetic.
That would be it.
Oh,
That's
would do it?
Well,
you hung in for 20 years and you found out I was a little miffed?
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
That's what...
Kept giving him birthday cards, anniversary cards.
I don't talk to
Celebrating
you at all.
Christmas.
He does nothing the whole time.
You hang in there for 20 years when I say nothing. And then when I say, well, I was a little upset, then you say, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's what does it?
Well, I would hate that. I mean, I would have left.
Course.
I truly would have left long before that. I don't know why he stayed around. You know?
Why did
What the hell?
Why did either of them stay around?
What?
I
Like,
mean,
I've
especially
never-
when the reason is as frivolous as, "Oh, you were raising our children."
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Like,
know.
get
I
over
sure
yourself.
hope so.
You're a grown man. Get
Uh-huh.
over yourself. So there's never been a time, if I don't talk to Jeremy, it's maybe for like the evening or something.
Yeah,
You know,
that's about
like
it.
I've never gone days without speaking to him because I wouldn't like that.
You've never gone days without speaking, Rachel. You know, like, this is not a
says
challenge.
the veteran radio announcer.
Well, yeah, but this
Yeah.
is not the challenge for you.
No.
I mean, I don't believe this is the
No.
thing that, like if you were going to try to do something for 20 years where you,
It wouldn't be not speaking.
it wouldn't be
Tell
not
you that right
speaking.
now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Your
It also
midlife
wouldn't
crisis
be
is
giving
not
up
going to be
chocolate.
going away to be a monk.
No.
You're not doing that. You're not taking a vow of silence
No,
ever.
it certainly wouldn't be for me.
No.
And I couldn't live with someone like that either.
I don't know. I mean,
It
there-
might. I don't know if it would take 20 years, but it might take you a while to notice that someone's not talking to you.
Me? I don't think Well, if you guys just didn't reply, I would notice.
But you would just carry on.
Sure, you would. You just
I
keep
could fill the
talking.
gaps. Yeah,
You're
I
like
could
that
fill
when you
the...
text. You text and you text and you text. And we
Yes,
don't
because,
respond.
Well, that's different because you don't respond. I could do that for 20 years. Just text at you two, and
Yeah.
then that's it, and you never reply.
Well,
I could see that happening. That's very plausible.
And the challenge is on, Forman. Let's see how long she goes. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that if it were in a horror movie would be the first one killed. Like you would just
yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
And you'd
Podcast that
know.
ran upstairs.
That's right. And you'd know it was us.
I
You go,
would run
yeah,
upstairs.
they're dead first.
I know.
Like
I would hope to jump out a window, but then I wouldn't. So
Nope.
No, we'd be the
you're
ones.
right.
We'd be the ones that you just go. You know what? I think I want them dead. Just
Yeah,
please,
take them first.
take them first.
Right.
God, I hope this movie doesn't keep these guys in it.
So I, as you guys are aware, I have a new driver.
Oh,
at
yes,
home,
in
at
your home.
Yes.
For a couple months now, right?
Not quite that long.
Oh, okay.
The license was shortly after she went back to school. So
Oh,
she
okay.
got her license, then insurance was looked after, and we had purchased a new smaller vehicle, a smaller car, which was to be, shared between Mom and Charlotte. But Charlotte has pretty much taken over the vehicle because I don't want to drive her to school, and Mom's got to
Right.
go to work, and so for better or worse, she hops in the car and drives to school
Okay.
every day. So she's got a car, and a pretty nice car. Now, it's
Yeah,
not hers,
brand
and
new.
it's not hers. She
Jeez.
knows that, and she's driving it to school. I have a question for you. Do you recall when you were first driving? I don't know what car you first drove. If you were lucky enough to drive a car, like in my
no,
case.
mine were so old.
Yeah, well, mine was old, and I shared it originally with my mom. It was kind of her car, and I was driving her car because it wasn't. My dad was a car guy, and I wasn't driving his. So you could drive your mom's car. Like,
Okay.
smart guy, right? So, how long driving that vehicle with your license and everything did you have your first incident?
Within the first year or two, for sure.
Okay. Oh, that's
Well,
very.
before, because I popped the tire of my driver's ed instructor's car.
Did you?
Trying to
Oh.
park.
Good for you.
Yep.
Trying to park.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
remember
Yeah.
any incidents necessarily, but
Ah.
I would blow a tire, or the battery would die, or I always had the car was always breaking down because it was so old.
Yeah.
I had these old beaters.
I had that happen with the old one that I drove. As a matter of fact, my father, the car guy, got a lot of phone calls from his son with a stalled vehicle
Yeah.
anywhere in the city of I could have been anywhere.
Right.
And then now it won't start, and better
Yeah.
call Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Dad'll show up.
Oh
Dad'll
my
help.
gosh! One time my car stalled, the battery gave out or something during rush hour while I was turning left at Wellington and Commissioners.
Wow.
It was horrific.
That's a
and that
great
left
place.
turn lane from Wellington
That's
to Commissioners
That's
was
a great spot.
oh my God. I was in the lane blocking the whole thing. Everybody was honking.
Good for you.
Oh, it was
well
awful.
done.
I didn't
Well
know
done.
what to do.
Well, about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm not sure. Into driving the vehicle to school. And I'm here every morning, and I wave goodbye. Drive carefully now. Be careful when you're driving.
Yeah.
And out the door she goes. And about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes later, my phone rings.
Uh-oh.
And I look at my phone. I don't answer my phone. I never answer my phone unless I know
Same.
who it is. I don't answer it. But I look, and I see that it's Charlotte calling, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no. And she's
no.
calling,
No.
not texting.
Yeah, it's a phone
Yep.
call. So I answer the phone, and I say, hello? And all I hear is tears
Oh,
and
no.
sobbing.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, what's the matter? Where are you? What's the matter? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you all right? I have a flat tire.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
flat
So everything's okay except the tire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not really okay. It's not like when you call. Now, she called her dad, but when I called my dad, I aptly pointed out he was a car guy. He would know what to do.
Yeah.
She called her dad. That's me. I'm not a car guy.
Oh my.
All I'm
yeah.
thinking to myself is, who can I con into going out there and fixing her tire? Who do I know? Maybe her older brother could go.
Oh
and-
yes.
yeah,
He's
maybe
handier than you.
He could do it or whatever. Anyway, then I get a phone. My phone goes off. I said, "Okay, where are you?" And then she so she sends her location to me. I said, "Okay, all right, I'm coming." And then I get a call from her mom. So Jana's on the phone, and she goes, "Did she call you?" I said, She goes, "I don't think she knows what a flat tire is." I said, "Well, how hard is it to figure out what a flat tire is?" Well, I don't think she knows. Are you going? I said, yeah. I'm on my way. I'm going anyway.
So you did go.
I did go. She's not far from the school. She's on a side street. She shows me where she is. And while I'm there, so I pull up, and she's there, and she's still got tears in her eyes, and the car's off to the side. And I looked. My first take, I took one quick look at it. I said, which one? She goes, so it was the passenger, front passenger tire. And I took a quick look and thought, it's not flat.
Oh.
I mean, it's not flat. I don't think that's flat.
Okay.
However, it does appear, as I take a closer look, to be out of whack, not in the right spot. It looks a little too close to the tire wall, It looks like it's rubbing. It looks like
you don't want
that
that
in the middle of that wheel well
area.
area.
It's not in the middle anymore. It's kind of pushed to the. And as luck would have it, there's kids waiting for a bus with parents, and there's a guy there, and he's kind of watching us. And I said to Charlotte, I don't think the tire's flat. I think there's something wrong with the tire, but I don't think it's flat.
Shouting it over your shoulder, hoping that this guy can hear you.
No, not at all. I'm just talking to her. So he just kind of pops over and he goes, yeah, it looks like, and he goes, this is what I do for a living. So he gets down on his head. He gets right down. And he goes, I think she's broken the tire arm. I'm like, great.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Boy.
Great. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yes, but I slid on ice.
Yeah.
Ashley was in the car.
Oh.
Once she listens to this, I'll never hear the end of it again.
Well,
but I was an adult at least.
Well, at least your spouse listens to our podcast.
Yes. Yeah, mine does too.
Sometimes she's on it.
Yeah,
mine doesn't.
Mine does too. Anyway, so I find out from Charlotte. I'm like, well, what happened? And so it had rained that morning. And she said I turned left. I was turning left, and I slid, and I hit a curb. And I'm like, okay, you hit a curb pretty hard. Mm-hmm. And I'm still trying to figure it out, but she hit the curb sideways, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, which is
and
how
that's
it bent.
probably how you. Anyway, so this guy tells me what it is, and he goes, "You're gonna have to get it towed." I'm like, great. Fun.
You
anyway,
can't drive with it, or it's like
no.
Yeah,
you can't drive
then
with
it
it.
might puncture the tire. If it's broken, it might puncture it. Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, it's been repaired, but not completely because parts. They're having trouble getting parts.
Really? Still, hey.
But I just wondered. So, did you? And and she's like, "Well, I'll pay for it." She has a job, and we're like, "Yeah, you'll pay for it." These are the things that have. So, you've got to be careful when driving the car, and
well, I think it's a life lesson. Like all the stuff that happened to me, and it wasn't necessarily things like that, but the cars would break down, and I had old beaters always, like the two of them that my parents bought for me, super cheap. Right. But now I know if I hear this sound, it means this is wrong, or if I hear this, then this is wrong, or this only lasts, 4 years, so it's about time to look at a replacement or whatever, right? So I think those are. It'll help her later for learning, right? Like, if I slide into a curb sideways, then I might bend the tire arm.
At least she didn't have an audience, because when I did that, about the same age, it was in the parking lot at high school.
Ooh.
And it was like right after an event, and it was the hand-me-down 82 Toyota Jessica the Cressida that my grandparents used to have.
I love
my parents
that.
then had, and then they passed down to us because it was dying. And then I backed it into another car in the parking lot with parents watching, siblings watching, friends watching, teachers watching.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome, Forman. How did that go over?
Not well.
I'll bet.
So,
hard to get parts for an 82, as it turns out.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I would say, you back into?
Someone else. It was like a truck, and they were in the car. That's right, and it was fine because it was the corner bumper of a truck, and there was like not even a scratch on it, but the back light of my car was all punched in.
Of course.
Well, I
Jessica the Cressida. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I had this beater car, and I remember one day dropping a friend off at home. I don't know how long I had been driving. Not that long, I don't think. I can't recall. And I dropped this guy off in the driveway. He gets out. I back out of the driveway. Bam! I'm like, what was that? Oh, there's a car parked on the street.
Oh, no.
Oops.
So I don't know what you would do in a situation like that, but I'll tell you what young David, the teenager, did in a situation like that.
David drove away?
Yeah, he put it in drive and sped away as quickly as he could.
Oh, Dave. Little David making poor decisions from the get-go, eh?
Little David, that's me.
Sounds like adult Ashley did that when she ran into a tractor and sped away, and then told me someone else ran into her on the street.
Perfect.
A tractor?
Oh, wow.
There's a hole in the bumper.
Was that recently?
That was in Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay.
And we drove around with that piece of shit car for at least a couple of years with a hole in the bumper, and all because we thought someone backed into her on the street. No, she backed into a tractor. And everybody at the barn knew it except for me.
Okay.
Oh, no.
How many years did you go not knowing about that? But not 20 years like the guy who didn't talk to his wife.
No, probably about 4.
Wow. And then the truth finally came out.
Perfect. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman, brought to you by, thank you, shout out to Murphy Bus Lines, serving southwestern Ontario since 1946.
Wow.
Whoa.
77 years.
That's a long time.
It is
Right
a
off
long
the
time.
top of your head. What a good student you used to be.
In math, yes.
No, I know that my dad was born in 46, and that's how old he is. That's how I know that.
I knew there had to be a reason. I knew you didn't get
I
that
didn't
off
do the
top.
math.
No, I knew you did.
Well, just because you're taking kids to school doesn't mean you have to really know anything about what they're learning in school.
no.
That's true.
Because this is your opportunity to drive that bus.
Yeah, you can be in charge of all those kids going to school. They're always looking for drivers. There's such a shortage right now. And if you want to drive, you don't even need to know how to drive a bus because they'll teach you. They'll help you get your license and all that. It's a part-time job. They'll train you. They'll assist you in getting the license. You get all weekends off, holidays off, school holidays, summers off.
Can't beat
course.
that.
Yeah,
Can't beat that.
I know. So go to murphybus.ca. That's their website. You can fill out an application to be a bus driver. Tell them Rob Murphy sent you.
Yes.
The Rob Murphy.
The famous Rob Murphy. He
Yep.
once taught me, he showed me rudimentary, obviously, because I don't have a license, but he showed me how to drive a school bus
I've
in a
heard
parking
that.
lot. Yes, in a parking lot. And I was able to do it. I didn't do too bad.
Well, good,
I didn't go very
good.
far. There were no children on the bus, thank God for that.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think you'd be a very good bus driver with kids. I
Why?
don't think you'd be.
Why?
I don't think you'd have a lot of patience for them.
I
That's what I
think the kids would be well behaved on Dave's bus.
Well, that maybe they would be, yeah.
Yeah. We'd be
From
sitting
all
there.
the
just did
laying down the law you do.
The kids on Dave's bus, sit down right now, down right now.
You'd have them all sitting
down
there.
now. That's right. That's how it would go.
My
Anyway,
girls just got to do the school bus safety thing at school.
Oh.
Where you go through the bus and they teach you
Yep.
how to use the emergency exits and
oh,
stuff.
that's smart.
That was
That's
always
smart.
one of the best days at school because you don't really know how does the emergency window thing actually open, or how do you get out the back? How do you get out the roof latch? Because now a lot of the buses have the roof exit.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. True. I remember doing that in school, and I ripped the pocket of my jeans going out the window. And I was really mad about that after. Just recalled that.
What
After all
song
these
did your
years.
peers come up with for that incident?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. Listen, all of this aside, if you are interested, or if even if you're not, but you think you might know somebody who is interested,
Sure.
or is looking for something like this, have them get in touch. murphybus.ca. I'm going to give you the phone number 1-877-289-6507. Slow the podcast down, reverse it, do whatever you need to do. Get that number. Tell them Rob Murphy sent you, and get the job.
Be a bus
Anywhere.
driver.
Perth, Huron, Oxford, Middlesex, and the City of London. You can drive anywhere.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that's just like a vampire on Halloween night. We go out sucking. just wait a few more minutes and you'll find out
I was
exactly
going to say, do we
how.
suck the soul right out of you or something?
Go out. I don't know.
Just plain old sucking.
We go out
we suck.
sucking. I don't know.
Well, whatever.
You know, you might as well.
We
be
don't
describing-
promise otherwise.
No.
No, we do you not?
It's a fitting description for everybody who uses Facebook Marketplace, by the way.
Oh, hey, I just used it
really?
recently.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I had to buy tap shoes for my daughter.
I don't even know really honestly what Facebook Marketplace is because I don't spend much time on social media. I browse. That's about all I do.
Well,
I just
Facebook
kind of
Marketplace
creep
is-
a bit and then I get out.
Yeah,
Must be
it's
nice.
like Kijiji, basically, but it's all on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And
I don't know.
Ashley just happens to have a 4.5-star seller's rating.
Oh, does she?
Four
For
and a half. Who
communication-
gave her half a star less?
She gets points for communication, item description, pricing, and punctuality.
Oh, okay.
Why? Do you have a rating on Facebook
I
Marketplace?
don't know.
You better check because I don't think you. Who gave her half a star?
Yeah,
I'm
I'd be
look up Rachel's
pissed.
name right now.
Yeah, look up mine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's taking too long.
Oh.
It's taking too
Yeah.
long.
Check out and see.
I'm
whether-
trying to look. I don't know. How do you see it?
Yeah. You don't have a rating at all.
I might not. I might not.
You shouldn't be knocking.
I've only sold like
You
I don't
shouldn't-
know, not very many things.
You shouldn't be knocking 4.5 stars then.
Well, that's true. I could have 3. Who knows? I don't know what I have. That's true.
Anyway, so 4.5
hard.
star.
She's got 4.5 stars, and
Uh-huh.
it blows my mind what people will drive across the city to come by, and
Oh yeah.
how much they want to hassle you for it.
Oh
I mean,
no.
people are driving from like Sackville,
Dartmouth.
Sackville.
Yeah.
My favorite place in
Upper Sackville,
Yeah,
Lower
Upper-
Sackville, Middle Sackville.
There's a lot
It's
of
right,
Sackvilles. There's
You know,
so
it's
many
right next to
Sacks,
Beaver Bank, by
Sackvilles.
the way.
I don't know why, but Sackville sounds like,
Yeah.
where are you from? Sackville.
Yeah. Well,
I don't.
It
know.
is.
I just feel like it just feels like that's the place where. Hey, where are you from? Oh, Sackville.
well, I'm from the town next door, Beaver Bank.
Beaver
Beaver
Bank.
Bank. A bank of beavers.
Wow. So they're coming from Dartmouth and
Yeah.
Sackville.
All over the
Like-
place.
20, 30, 40 minutes away to come get a $5 plug-in wax warmer. A $5
warmer?
K-cup holder.
What the hell is a $5 what?
Like a scented wax thing that it's like a little light bulb, basically.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it if you are going for something big. I don't know. Like for me, because I had to
not.
buy tap shoes, and that was worth it because I didn't want to spend $150 on new ones, right? So
Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
bought the $35 ones
Oh,
from
please
Marketplace.
tell me they're for you.
No, they're for Julia.
I want you to
She's taking
please,
tap class.
Please tell me you're taking tap class.
No,
Rachel.
but could you imagine? I'd be
No,
light
but
on
I-
my feet.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's like the baby toys and stuff. All these things are like, oh, you want like a baby's cash register, $5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like anything and everything, they're all $5, and everyone wants you go to deliver it to them.
No.
Oh,
Which
what?
is pretty,
That's
I'm
not
not
how it
driving
works.
half
For
an hour
$5?
to take
No.
you a $5 item.
No.
Good grief, no.
And then people show up and they want to haggle with you. They want to like negotiate the price, right? Like,
We
I'll
won't
give
let
you
that
4.
happen. That's
Oh, you shut
firm
that down.
On, no, maybe
Yeah,
that's
it
why
should always
Ashley
be
only has
firm.
4.5 stars because the price is
Right.
the price.
Yes.
And you ain't
Right.
we ain't holding it for you unless you've already sent us.
You want that wax
Right.
holder? It's $5, buddy.
You're
You're
coming
Yeah.
to get it.
$5. Don't
Yeah,
come over
because
here.
people ghost you. They just don't show up. Yeah, it's awful. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not really big on stuff like that because I've had a spare. I think I sold some golf clubs once on Kijiji, and the guy was really nice. And I wasn't asking a whole lot of money. I just had these clubs, and they're just taking up space. And he came and gave me the money and walked away with the golf clubs, and it was easy peasy. But then,
Yeah.
after Charlotte had outgrown the crib that she was in, we decided to sell the crib, and I think we had bought it used. We were only going to have one Charlotte, so we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on. Hey, you're going to have 2-3 kids, buy yourself a good crib and keep using it. I guess I don't
Okay.
know. We weren't going to do that. We bought ours from somebody, I think someone that Jana worked with. And then she decided to sell it, I think, for $50.
Okay.
And so anyway, whoever it was, a woman that she dealt with on Kijiji, not Facebook, Kijiji, said, I'm going to send my husband over a Friday at 2 or 1 or whatever it was, and he'll come pick it up and give you the money. I said, Janice, you're going to be home. I'm going to be at work. Get the money. And do not let him try to talk you down. I said, okay. Because I've had situations where I've said yes, where I should have probably said no. And it usually ends up costing money. And so my wife always gives me instructions when it comes to something like this. Just say no.
And if there's one thing Dave does, it's listen to his wife's instructions.
That's right.
That's
if
true.
She tells me.
And also says no.
Yeah. Just say no. Just say no.
Yes,
it's $50 for the crib. Don't. Nothing. You take $50, nothing else.
So did he offer you less?
Well, it wasn't. It was. So the husband shows up with, and he comes to the door, and I've taken it all apart. It's in good shape. It's sitting by the front door. He kind of looks at it and goes, "I'll give you 25."
25.
25.
No.
I said no.
Yeah.
No. I just said no. I don't think so.
No,
That's
thanks,
not,
sir.
No. I think the agreement was 50. So no to 25. And then he goes, 35.
Okay.
No,
here we
what
go.
do you not understand?
No.
But because
You have to say price firm.
It doesn't matter, Rachel. You have to have Janet tell you, just say no.
Yeah.
She tells me to do that.
You're selling something. Just have her in your mind.
Just say no.
That's right.
Just say no. So I'm like, I'm not getting in trouble over this, okay? Look, I said to him, $50.
Yeah.
$50. If you don't want it, that's fine. But it's $50. 40. I'll give you 40.
Oh, my.
I said, no, that's 50. And then he threw $50 at me and took it away. So, just say no. For me. Just always say no.
Well, I don't even need to say no, because if you're going to drive across the city for like a $5 VTech Peppa Pig phone, I don't even care. We do not care if you even leave the $5.
Yeah.
We are literally just trying to
get rid of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go.
There's some times where I'm like, I'll just leave it on the porch. You can just put the money in the mailbox. And then I'm like,
that's always what we do.
If they just take it and don't leave the money, whatever.
Right.
Like they
As
needed
long
it
as
more
they
than I
take
needed
it.
the
No
money.
loss.
That's fine.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, but then you get the people who overprice things, right? So then they want, for a Peppa Pig phone, they want $25 or whatever.
I don't think so.
Or it's like when you go to a garage sale and people are like, well, this item is $100. It's like, no, this is a garage sale. It's $20. Like, you can't overprice things. You're not getting almost what you bought it for. And I hate it when people are like, I paid this, I'll sell it for this. I'm like, I don't care what you paid. It's what it's worth to me. Not to you at this point.
Again,
you want to get rid of it? Fine.
If you want to get rid of stuff, that's one thing. But if you're out there, if I put $50 on the crib and somebody comes by and says 25, if Janice says it's 50, it's 50.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's $50.
And
Doesn't
if
matter
you
what
priced
Dave
it
wants to do.
appropriately, if you have priced
Yeah.
it, look at what great price. Look, selling these 4 dining room chairs, wooden chairs.
Solid
They've got
wood.
white backs, white legs.
Solid
nice
wood.
wooden-
Yes, nice.
$30 for 4 chairs.
Oh, that's
Right.
You know
cheap.
how many people wanted special delivery to their homes for these chairs?
What?
There's
No,
dozens
no.
and dozens of messages. We're like, it's only $30. You come to us.
Yeah. You want
Yeah,
the chairs,
if it's $30,
come and get 'em.
you need to get a truck, borrow a car, whatever you
Yes.
need to do. Yeah, I get it. Because some people, if you're buying a lot of secondhand things, maybe you don't have a car or you don't have these amenities that you can get to different places, but you can't expect everybody to deliver. That's ridiculous.
We don't deliver.
Yeah, you
No.
want me to deliver? It's $130.
I'm not Amazon
Well,
here.
yeah, exactly.
This is not
Yeah.
Amazon. It's Facebook.
Exactly. You want the item, you go get it.
Yeah.
I would never ask someone to deliver something, ever.
Everybody asks.
Really?
Really?
That's ballsy. No, I would
know.
never ask that.
Well,
Yeah.
Sackville.
Yeah.
They can't get out of Sackville. They can't leave.
Yeah. Do you deliver to Sackville?
What about North Sackville? Ballsy. I have a 5-star rating, by the way, but I only have 1 review, so I don't even know who this person is
She has
or
12.
5-star.
what I sold.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. Shout out to Murphy Bus Lines, our sponsor, serving southwestern Ontario since 1946, murphybus.ca. If you want to drive a bus,
You
just
can.
go there. You can. Yeah. They're hiring. They're hiring.
They need you.
Couple things. I know we're going to wrap up here and maybe hear from you, what you think, and if you like the podcast or hate it or whatever. Forman, I want to let you know that the Phantom of the Opera is, in fact, a musical and not an opera. You can Google it. It actually pops up. It's a musical.
Oh.
It's an opera. It's about the Phantom of the Opera, but it is a musical. There is talking in it.
It's a musical, but the Phantom it's about the Phantom of the Opera. I thought
yes,
it was
Rachel.
an opera. I didn't think there was talking in it, but I haven't seen it for like 20 years.
There is talking in it. There is talking. There are conversations, and yes.
Well,
it's
lucky me. Now I don't have to Google it. Not that I ever was going to.
I know. And for those of you who wonder why we didn't talk about this, it's because we record the podcast in advance. Because there was a tractor trailer. Nobody was hurt, by the way. Thank goodness. The truck driver is going to be okay. That crashed on the 401 near Chatham with 1,500 live turkeys in it. 2 days before the Thanksgiving weekend. Now, I would like to
Boy, do
point
I
out-
wish we were still on the radio when that happened.
Exactly.
We would have a field day with that.
I know. If that had
Wow.
happened, I
Yes.
saw this story and I thought to myself, oh my, if we were still doing our radio show,
Yep.
the three of us together, I would say to the three of you, God loves us.
Yes.
And wants us to have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
'Cause
he does.
We would have talked about that for days.
He would have it's like handing us a topic on a silver platter.
It's such a great topic.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Would you like a reason to remember that God doesn't always love us?
Oh, what's that?
Because you're talking
Uh-oh.
about Phantom of the Opera. Of all
Oh,
people,
God.
Dave is bringing it up and not Rachel.
Right.
So here's one for Rachel and
It's true.
definitely not one for Dave and Forman.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Have you heard that The Sound of Music is re-releasing their soundtrack December 1st with 40 plus new songs?
How can
40
that be?
new songs.
How can that
40.
be?
40 more
Where-
of these songs.
What? Hold on. Where are we getting these songs from? Nobody knows these songs. They're not in part of a movie then.
But it includes unreleased tracks and unheard vocals by Christopher Plummer.
Okay.
Okay. I would be interested to see that.
Many remixes and remasterings.
The only reason
Well, if they're
this is-
remastering it, fine. That's fine.
The only
Because-
reason this is coming out now is because Christopher Plummer is now no longer able to stop it from coming out.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Who knew there were songs that weren't in The Sound of Music?
He hated that movie. For
Yeah.
years he
Did
hated
he?
that. Yes.
Oh, we love him in that movie, though.
He reconciled himself with it, but he hated it. For years he hated it.
That makes
Rachel,
me
he hated
sad.
it.
That's why he
Aw.
apparently sang all of the songs, and then all his vocals were dubbed over by somebody else.
Oh, he did.
It's not
Oh,
him
really?
singing.
Oh, I could see that actually. Yeah, that it wasn't him.
Anyway.
That's too bad.
Well, that's
Anywho.
fascinating. Fascinating. Okay.
All right.
Well, if we still want to stay on the topic of Thanksgiving, you
Yeah.
know, we talked about, if you bring the pickle tray, nobody in your family trusts you.
Oh yeah, I know. Boy, did I hear about that when my oldest daughter showed up with buns. You know, you have to.
Oh my God.
I know, it was
That's
fun.
so
Anyway,
funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, Verna had told us that she does the cooking, but her daughter does do the pickle tray.
Okay. Well, poor Verna's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody
and
else
Rachel,
said-
you posted a picture. You posted a picture about have you done your family in an apple orchard photo shoot yet?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
no.
The apple
And-
picking.
And
photo
Graham, who brings up horses more than anybody else in my life,
Mhm.
Graham comments.
Yes.
And if you're
Yeah.
Forman, the best apples were saved for the horses.
Okay. Thank you, Graham. I love anytime there's
Probably.
a horse shot at Forman. I like
I can't
it.
wait till I see a picture of Forman and Windsor together.
You won't
Coming.
unless you Photoshop it.
Yeah.
That's gotta happen.
We got a
That's
lot of
gotta happen.
messages from the last, was it the last one or the last other? We talked about crumbs in bed, right? Foreman, you talked about, food in bed.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ashley had smeared a bunch of Chips Ahoy
Shot.
all over the
Chips
sheet.
Ahoy. Yeah. So Ainsley says, I'm with Rachel on the crumbs because I said I can't stand crumbs in the bed. When I have a late night softball game, my husband is in charge of bedtime. Do you know how many times I've come home, crawled into bed, and rolled onto crumbs? Well, it meant less screaming if I let the boys have a cookie before bed. That's what he says, the dad. Mom versus dad parenting at its finest. Yeah, I can't stand crumbs in the bed for sure. We got a couple other messages. Oh, speaking about the pickles, Angie says, in my family, pickles are important. You don't want to see an Italian without olives or hot peppers.
Yeah.
That's the pickle tray. You have to have the anti-pasta,
Actually,
right?
My wife even said, the whole pickle tray thing gives her anxiety because for that very reason. What if somebody likes olives? What if somebody doesn't like
the olives,
What if somebody likes jalapeno peppers? What if somebody doesn't like
those little pickled onion things?
Pickle tray maybe is a little more complicated than we make it out to be. Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
But the buns are the buns. The buns.
You just pick them up and bring the pack.
That's right.
We also talked about putting things in your bra. We just kind of talked about that off the cuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last
Well,
episode?
that's how Ashley got the crumbs into. She took them to bed with her.
Oh, yes. That
You
was
were
the
one
crumb
that said
thing.
You put your car keys in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't put my car keys in, but I could probably do that and nobody would notice. Cassandra, though, says, I work in social services and the things that come out of bras. Yuck! Please don't hand me your sweaty ID kept in your bra. Dave, please don't encourage this.
I didn't. I just didn't know that there were things being hidden in there.
Well, not for everybody, because Megan says, the whole time I'm listening, I felt like screaming, no, Dave, some of us are part of the itty bitty titty committee and we can't keep stuff down there.
Okay, then. Perfect.
Oh, boy. It's
All right.
not for everyone, that's for sure.
No.
I've got a couple more. One I'll read, which is from Christina, who says, I just finished the Costco Tire Center experience. Bah ha 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 ha. Forman's Dartmouth accent is getting thicker.
It is. It
is. When you move back here, if you ever come back, people will make fun of you for sure. You're going to have to lose that real quick.
What else is new?
What else is this? People make fun.
And then Scotty, who we picked up as a local listener from here.
Okay. From Halifax.
Who's listened to me live here in Halifax and now is listening to the show, has done what we used to ask people to send us and nobody ever did. So then we stopped asking for them.
Right.
Voice memos sent to us in Messenger.
Oh, love it. Okay, great. What's Scotty say?
I can just hold the phone up here and I have no idea what it is, but...
All right, let's hear it.
Hello, this is Scotty from Nova Scotia. Sorry I've fallen behind a bit. I'm on episode 45 right now, sponsored by Campbell Amusements, the fun part of the fair. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Anyway, you were talking about when your kids don't get bothered by rides. I find my kids were like that too, but all you got to do is just put a little bug in their ear like, well, this could happen if there's some sort of an accident on the ride or whatever. Like with me, my son loved the ride so much, I had to cut one side of the links on his swing set so that it would break while he was on it. And he's fine, but he's learned that sometimes things can happen. It's the same thing when you say you want to have a nap, and you just let your kids know that there's a possibility that if they wake you up during your nap, you'll have a heart attack and die. It's like hurting them. Not really. Anyway, I find that's the best way for your kids to learn, valuable lessons.
Okay, there we
Thanks.
go. Okay,
The best way.
Not
Way to
really
go,
hurting
Scotty.
them. Not really. No.
Way to
I
go,
love
Scotty.
that, Scotty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scotty.
I'm going to use that actually for my naps.
See
Wake me up, I'll have a heart attack and die.
Well, let's see all those people got stuck in that ride upside down at Canada.
Yes, I did
My
see
favorite.
that.
Ah.
That's
Someone should have
my
warned them.
nightmare.
That could have happened.
Awful.
That's right.
All right. Well, if you want to,
swings.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awful.
And by the way,
awful,
you think
awful.
I have a Dartmouth accent? He's listening to episode 45.
Yes,
Right.
I heard
Not
that.
really.
I heard
Yeah.
that.
I heard the accent. Yeah. I love
Thank
it,
you,
though.
Scotty.
If you want to send us an email anytime, DaveRachelForman@gmail.com. We love to get your reactions to whatever we're talking about. And if you want to be a sponsor of the podcast, you can do that too. We can send you all the information. We've got a whole price list. They start at $75 per episode. DaveRachelForman@gmail.com, or send us a message on Facebook or Instagram.
Send us a voice memo and we'll make fun of the way you talk too.
Please.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We make fun of each other enough. We need to have other targets.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.